Who is really in control of the financial markets? Imagine a tool so powerful it moves your whole portfolio automatically towards less volatility when markets are extreme. It sells your less liquid assets and makes them more liquid, creating cash is king at just the right time. Defends your portfolio with bonds, healthcare, utilities during market downturns, recessions and depressions. It moves your portfolio from regions less correlated to a crisis, keeping you ahead, and then finally nestles your portfolio into real estate infrastructure to maintain steady and stable growth. Who wouldn't want a tool like this? And if you didn't have a tool like this, how would you be able to compete? We'll get back to this supercomputer algorithm called Aladdin in a moment, but first, let's meet the man who controls it. Larry Fink, power moves in silence. Larry Fink, the financial oracle of our times, or as some might say, the high priest of BlackRock. From Brooklyn to the boardrooms, born in the 50s, Larry Fink wasn't just another ordinary kid from Brooklyn. He was destined for bigger things or managing trillions of dollars. Graduated from UCLA with a business degree, which is basically a license to print money, or in Larry's case, a license to manage other people's money. Started at First Boston, where he climbed the ladder faster than a cat on a hot tin roof. His speciality? Mortgages, where he securitized a way for people to pay for houses they couldn't afford. Larry Fink, the mortgage broker, lost his company $100 million and was fired, but it probably led to the greatest ever of comebacks, even better than Michael Jordan's The Last Dance. In 1988, he co-founded BlackRock, and under Larry's guidance, he truly turned a snowball into an avalanche. He did this with Aladdin. Aladdin is Larry's baby, a risk management software that's so complex it might as well be powered by magic. This thing could probably predict the next economic crisis before your coffee gets cold. Asset, liability, debt and derivative investment network is what it stands for. Imagine having a crystal ball for your finances. Well, Aladdin isn't quite there, but it does let investors see when a potential storm is on the horizon. Oh, there's a financial crisis brewing. Let's simulate how this affects our portfolio before it happens. This software lives off data like a vampire lives off blood. It's crunching numbers from everywhere, making sense of the financial universe in real time. The market's just sneezed. Let's see how this affects our global strategy. Aladdin uses the sophisticated Monte Carlo model, which is made up of countless around-the-clock corporate analytics, past data points, ups and downs of the stock market, freak weather and natural disasters, political scandals.
Anne carried a second phone, but at the time, this didn't seem like an issue.
And compares this to the current climate. Through using this market impactful data, it can make a probability model and then shift BlackRock's assets from the troubled ones to the potentially more profitable variety. This supercomputer is powered autonomously, which means it can act around the clock, staying ahead of the market and the everyday investor, always making the right bet for BlackRock's assets. The first 10 years of this product was so good, intelligent access to it was sold to other Wall Street companies. BlackRock currently manage over 11 trillion US dollars, which means that they essentially control the capital markets. Every year, Larry Fink writes letters that the financial world all read. When the world's money speaks, you kind of have to listen. Larry Fink literally forces behavior.
You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock, we are forcing behaviors.
Larry Fink's impact in an industry cannot go unnoticed. He's able to shift the views of very influential figures in the financial world and align them with his views. For example, you've got Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, very resistant to any approval of Bitcoin ETF products. In January 2024, they were all approved.
It appears that it's a decision that you made either reluctantly or perhaps...
You've got JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, openly talks about Bitcoin being a tool for money laundering and sex trafficking.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto, Bitcoin, etc. You pointed out the only true use case for it is criminals, drug traffickers, anti-money laundering, tax avoidance, and that is a use case.
When BlackRock apply and have their ETF product successfully approved, he then becomes an authorized participant, or his bank become an authorized participant. You've then got Morgan Stanley, a huge bank in the USA, who now have a team of salespeople who now promote the Bitcoin ETF products, iShares, which is BlackRock's ETF product, and then also have now currently got $272 million of Bitcoin products for their clients. You can see from this graph that when BlackRock applied for a Bitcoin ETF in June 2023, the market understood the impact this would have on the price of Bitcoin, that this asset would now be something that's instrumental in the financial world. The price has gone up over 100% since their application. This shows the true impact that Larry Fink can have on moving the markets, and also this company that manage over 11 trillion US dollars can have on people's mindsets, especially the most influential and powerful figures in the financial world. The benefits of Aladdin are it manages multiple portfolios simultaneously, efficiently, monitors over 2,000 risk factors daily, performs 5,000 portfolio tests and 180 million calculations weekly. Although there are some positives to BlackRock's proprietary software called Aladdin, there are going to be some cons. For example, one miscalculation could lead to the loss of several assets because they manage such a large amount of the world's capital. You've got the influence that they have single-handedly on any company. Because they allocate such a large percentage of capital to the major companies around the world, they're able to influence how the vote on boards can be carried out. It's also still a secret. Not everyone is fully aware of how this product works and the influence that it can have. And so to be aware of this company and how they can impact the markets can give you an important advantage, because you can see where this money is moving. You can see where this CEO, Larry Fink, is deciding to allocate capital, and you can start to position yourself and think into the future with that long-term time horizon, knowing that this company and this product are most likely going to be able to predict what the future is going to look like. If you find this content interesting and it adds any value, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I wanted to end with, could it be relevant? There's a really interesting conversation that a portfolio manager from Canada called Simon Hale had with another podcaster in reaction to the We Robot Tesla event. And he talks about how his experience in talking to the large asset managers like BlackRock and Morgan Stanley is he talks about how they use the trading algorithms in the second part of a product reveal rather than the first part, because the first half is usually scripted, whereas the second part they can add real value because their trading algorithms are able to pick up on keywords, really important announcements that have been made, and that will allow them to make a decision on whether to sell, hold, or buy more of the stock. I thought that was really important, just an insight from someone who is experienced in this field, understands how these large companies who use Aladdin software make these allocations. I wanted to think about how could the everyday investor be an algorithm that trades 24/7, that has all this data constantly crunching these numbers and making decisions that are acting faster than we ever could. Well, it's the time horizon. With that time horizon, you're able to think more imaginatively. Now, when you think about an industry that's not been built yet, such as a cyber taxi network or a Optimus robot working in homes and working in factories, these are completely new industries that haven't yet been developed, so it's extremely hard to model and give Wall Street the guidance that they need. And therefore, your advantage is the ability to be able to position yourself in the future and see that this company are creating products that are going to work, that can be used. And if you have that patience, you're able to position yourself for that future. There's something else that Simon Hale spoke about that really stuck with me. It was the fact that his children, when they saw the cyber taxis, they saw the futuristic aesthetics, they saw the Optimus robots, they were able to see how this would be a product they would love to have in their house. It also makes sense because when I talk to the students I teach, I show them the images of the Optimus robot, I show them the images of the cyber taxi network. they're all so excited about what this could be. It also makes me think about divergent thinking. When you're younger, you're able to think divergently. When you get older, you struggle to think of different ways to do things. For example, the 100 paperclip experiment. Give a child 100 ways to use a paperclip and they can think of that many ways. Whereas for an adult, it's really difficult. You get to about 10 and then you really struggle. I think that with the fact that humans were imaginative, were able to dream a little bigger, this is actually an advantage in terms of being able to predict what could happen in the future and have the edge and the advantage on algorithms that are working relentlessly on information and data from the past. I wanted to say I really appreciate anyone who leaves a comment, anyone who has a unique perspective and creates discourse that leads to everyone being able to learn something new. Everyone holds a unique perspective and any ideas are welcomed. I think that it just genuinely leads to a more challenging, more constructive environment. So thank you to anyone who has managed to leave their perspective. And if you continue to do that, it will just lead to a further development of that spreading information in a really constructive way. I wanted to finally finish off with a massive appreciation for a YouTuber called Invest Answers. Now, I followed him for over a year. He's been an inspiration to me on so many levels, and he's massively impacted my understanding of the markets, my understanding of investments, and I would recommend anyone who might not have come from Invest Answers to my channel to please follow Invest Answers, because he will have such a important impact on how you view your financial situation. So massive thank you to you, Invest Answers. I really appreciate the fact that you were able to see some value in the videos that I've created, and it goes so far and it means a lot. So if you got any value from this content and want to see future videos, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. And if you are interested in understanding a bit more about Bitcoin and potentially understanding how the Cybertruck has created an innovation of manufacturing unlike any other company, then click these videos and you'll be able to understand hopefully a little bit more about these different subjects. Thank you very much.